people, or welcome to my channel. My name is Rorisang Mabogoane. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's great to have you in my little corner of YouTube where we speak all things adulting, faith, career development, personal development, lifestyle, the works. Everything that is relevant for us to navigate our young adult lives. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That red button must turn gray. I'll actually give you guys a few seconds to do the right thing, because y'all guys like watching and you like coming back, but you're not subscribed. So subscribe, give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it, comment down below what you enjoyed about today's video and what other videos you'd like to see. Share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. And last but not least, hit those notification bells so that you do not miss another video. So without wasting any more time, let us get straight into today's video. So we're back again with another sit down. I do have a lot of sit downs lined up, so grab those notebooks. Make sure you are taking notes. Make sure you are internalizing everything that we're chatting about. Make sure that you are implementing some of the insights that you align with, because we are going to learn. Like the second half of the year, I am being so intentional about just learning. I always have been, but you guys know what I mean. Like, I'm here to not just learn for myself, but I'm here to impart that knowledge on you guys as well. So with that being said, today's video addresses a topic that a lot of you guys have always asked about, not just on YouTube, but on Instagram as well, where it's like, Rory, you're so disciplined. Rory, how do you do it? How do you stay motivated? How do you stay... And I'm here to tell you guys that discipline is not just reserved for people like me. Discipline is not something you were born with. Discipline is not something that you can just, say, click, and you've got it. Anyone can learn how to be disciplined. And I want to share some of the skills that I have implemented in my life throughout my journey of becoming a disciplined and a consistent person. I know I have a few videos out already that speak to, my non-negotiables, to being, disciplined and so forth. And I'll link them down below so that you guys can refer to those as well. But I thought that I should break them down into further details so that you guys understand, because I think in the past I've always just been very surface level, which yes, helps you guys, but doesn't really get you guys to that practical point of, being that disciplined individual that you want to be, like me. Because it's always, Rory, I wish I was like you. Rory, I wish, teach us. Here I am. I'm here to teach you guys. So without wasting any more time, let us get into the first skill that I implemented for me to be a disciplined individual. The first skill that I want to share with you is mastering your morning. If you master your morning, you've mastered your day. Make sure that your morning routine is so structured that it sets the tone for a productive day. Because I'm not going to quote someone, because I don't know who said this, but win your morning, win the day. Literally, guys, win the morning and win the day. Include certain, I don't want to call them rituals, but things that you do that are core to your day, whether that is waking up at the same time every single day. If it means you need to train, sleep train yourself like a baby is sleep trained, then so be it. Even on weekends, wake up at the same time each and every single day. My body wakes up at 4 o'clock every single day because I have trained it. Unless if something was happening the night before, or I only slept at like 2 a.m. because I was working or whatever, then things get shaky. But 4 o'clock, without a doubt, my body is up. Sometimes even if I try to switch off my alarm and say I'm going to sleep in on that day, best believe, 3:30, 4 o'clock, my body is awake and I'm tossing and turning. I'm looking at the ceiling because... So sleep train yourself. Make sure you wake up at the same time every single day. Exercise in the morning if you want to exercise in the morning and get it out of the way, because the day does get hectic. So do things or include healthy habits like that. Waking up at the same time, exercising, reading your Bible, praying, spending time in worship, and so forth. But another important thing about mastering your morning is also setting your intentions for the day. So that means writing a to-do list, which I will break down in the next step. But writing a to-do list with the goals that you want to accomplish for the day. And make sure that you structure this in a way where, number one, they're realistic. so that you don't bash yourself at the end of the day. Guys, it's taken me years to actually master this, but so that you don't bash yourself at the end of the day for not getting through your to-do list, but write a to-do list that is realistic, write a to-do list that is relevant. A lot of people like writing to-do lists that they know very well are not going to. Anyway, I'm digressing. I'm getting into the second one. So let me stop there. Make sure you've written a to-do list, set your goals and your intentions for the day that you want to accomplish. The second skill that I want to share with you is taming the to-do list terror. Now, writing to-do lists can be extremely overwhelming. And as I mentioned in the first skill, that it has taken me years to master how to do my to-do lists and how to structure them, right? So the first thing that you need to do is find a strategy that works for you when it comes to getting through your to-do list, because it can be overwhelming. Seeing that long list can be extremely overwhelming. So find ways to practically execute on your to-do list, whether that means breaking down big tasks into smaller ones. And yes, that might sometimes make your to-do list look longer, but if it means that that's the case, then so be it. For example, what I do, I'll have a line item: tidy up, dash, bedroom, in brackets, fold clothes, in brackets, what's the word? Organize study desk, make bed. I literally write those things in brackets next to bedroom, kitchen, wipe down counters, do the dishes. And I had to go a step further with my dishes. Don't just wash the dishes, but actually pack them, because sometimes they sit there and they air dry, and then for 3 days my kitchen looks like a mess because yes, I washed the dishes. I tick that off my to-do list, but so break down those large things into smaller chunks. That will help you feel like you're accomplishing things a bit easier. You know how they say, it's something along the lines of, if you want to eat an elephant, you need to start with something. I don't know. I'm butchering that quote, but literally you can't eat the elephant. You need to start with one leg before you get to the whole thing, right? So break down large goals into smaller ones. And also this doesn't include just smaller ones for things that you need to achieve today. If it means you're working on an assignment, you write down assignment A, B, and C for school. Today you're only working on the introduction of your essay. Write that down, and in brackets, the topics that you'll be touching on in your introduction. And then for tomorrow, body. The next day, conclusion. The next day, editing. It doesn't need to be everything that you do in one day. Another thing, very important thing that I want to stress before I move on to the next point, which is something that, guys, to-do lists are not easy, really. If you guys want me to do a whole entire video on how to create effective to-do lists and actually get through them, I'll be glad to. So comment down below if you want me to do that. But prioritizing, guys. One thing about me, I think I'm Superman, well, Superwoman in this case. And I think that I can complete everything by just blinking. And I want to do everything now. Everything on my to-do list, or everything that I need to get done, I want it to get done now. I've had to learn the art of prioritization and prioritizing tasks from a level of importance and a level of urgency. Sometimes I want to record a YouTube video. Guys, I've recorded YouTube videos that are coming out in October. We're in July. Or I'm recording this in July. I don't know when you guys are going to see this. We're in July. Make it make sense. Please make it make sense that I don't even have videos for August or September, but I have 2 videos recorded, edited for October. How? You know what I'm saying? So prioritize based off of importance and urgency, because sometimes you really want to eat the entire elephant and you don't need to eat it all today. Like, you don't need that 5-course meal today. Today, maybe the starter is just enough, and that's okay. So learn to prioritize in order of importance, learn to prioritize in order of urgency. You can't be starting on your conclusion that is due in 2 months' time, your research project. The conclusion is due in 2 months' time, you're starting with that instead of starting with your, what's that second one? With the literature review. You get what I'm saying? So that is the second thing. I know I've delabored this one, but really, to-do lists are not a monster if you get them right and if you get the strategies right. So overcome the to-do list terror and you are gonna go places. I kid you not. The third skill that I have learned, and I think this is one that I've learned very recently and I'm actually still working on, is learning the power of saying no. Simply saying no. And I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I think it's something that I'm going to continue stressing because it is something that I'm working on. But learning how to set boundaries and learning how to say no in order of the priorities that you have is extremely important. If your boss is coming to you to say, Rory, can you please get A, B, and C done? And your plate is full. Genuinely, it is full. You need to either say no or offer another solution, whether that be, should I reprioritize? Perhaps we can, give this to my direct report instead and I'll just guide her instead. Then let that be the case. But learning how to say no will take you places in life. And the one thing that I'm still learning that I want to stress is learning how to say no without making excuses. No is a full sentence. You do not need to make a, sorry, I've got an engagement with my mom. No is no. Like you really don't need to explain yourself. No is no. And I think the one thing that we need to get through our heads is that we have the power to say no. We have the power to set those boundaries without making an excuse, without making it seem like, oh, I wish I could. But when you genuinely know inside that you didn't want to, I wish I could, but so learn how to say no to certain requests, to certain engagements. I think the one thing that I've also implemented a lot this year is saying no to certain engagements. Sometimes it's because I'm genuinely busy. Sometimes it's because I'm so tired and that was maybe the one weekend or the one day that I had put aside to rest and recoup because genuinely I have a lot on my plate. I'm trying to do so much in my life that I'll share at a certain point in time once things are up and running, but I'm trying to do so much and there are so many moving parts that I genuinely can't say yes to each and every speaking engagement, preaching engagement, whatever engagement it is, because I'm tired. So having to learn to say no without saying, oh, I'm busy, oh, I have another engagement, oh, ish, has been really difficult. But learning how to say no without making an excuse, because we don't need excuses. Learning how to say no without making an excuse is extremely important. Whether it is something big or small, you do not need to say yes to everything. Sometimes if you even have the capacity for it, genuinely, sometimes you do. This is outside of the work context, by the way, guys. Don't go and tell your bosses no and then you have capacity and then it's awkward. But I'm just speaking about life in general. That sometimes you need to be able to say no because even if you have capacity, you genuinely don't want to do it. And that's okay. Like, it's okay. No is a full sentence. And that's one thing that I've learned so much. But the reason why I'm speaking about the power of no in this discipline video is because sometimes you say yes and it throws you off some of the things that you actually need to get done that day. Sometimes you say yes to helping someone read something, which is a good thing, don't get me wrong. I just couldn't think of another example, but helping someone read something. And that is cutting into your consistent exercise streak that you've been going on for the past 100 days. Sometimes somebody's asking you to drive them somewhere. And that is breaking into the cooking time that you would have done, which then results in you not just spending petrol on driving people somewhere, but also then it breaks that discipline of buying takeouts or not buying takeouts rather. You see what I mean? So learning how to say no in a very practical way without making excuses and without feeling bad about it is something that you need to learn in order for you to be disciplined. They are non-negotiables. And if you have to say no in order for you to get those non-negotiables done within your day-to-day tasks, then let that be the case. The fourth skill that I want to touch on that has helped me become more disciplined is learning how to reward myself strategically. I have to say strategically because sometimes rewards, sometimes you see people out here saying, yeah, I'm rewarding myself for doing A, B, and C, and you're just like, but that reward does not make sense, and it doesn't seem like it's filling you more. If anything, it seems like it's taking you out of, But anyway, let me break this down. Learn or train your brain to focus and be disciplined on one thing with a silver lining or with a light at the end of the tunnel. For example, I do a whole lot of short courses that help me upskill myself in order for me to build a good foundation for my career. When I finish a short course, I reward myself. Or let's say I say I'm going to do a module today and I finish that module. Then I go and sit in front of the TV. Not that I watch a lot of TV, but then I watch something, a repeat of the Bridgerton or whatever. I watch one episode of something as a reward. And it's a reward that is filling me up, but also helping me rest. Because sometimes, I don't want to use alcohol as an example, but it's the only thing that I can think of right now. Sometimes people are saying, yeah, I studied one chapter and then I went out with my friends for a break and we got hammered. That means you are hungover for the next 5 days and then you can't go back to that cycle of discipline. You understand? So be very strategic about the rewards that you give yourself. If you've had a no spend month, make sure that you maybe you reward yourself by buying a book. And that is your reward for not spending on anything that is non-essential for that month. Another thing, for example, that is practical for me, if you're following me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm trying to be very consistent with reading and studying, not just reading, but studying my Bible. And when I finish my Bible, I'll actually insert a clip here because it's in the other room. When I finish my Bible, there is a specific Bible that is sitting in my Take a Lot wish list that I cannot wait to buy. But I told myself, I'm not gonna buy it until I finish this Bible cover to cover, end to end. You know what I mean? So that is my reward. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that Bible. But anyway, so I'll show you guys where I am. I'm currently, laboring a lot through the New Testament, and I haven't touched the Old Testament that much, but I want to finish that Bible beginning to end, cover to cover, and then I will reward myself with a new Bible. So having a reward in mind, a strategic reward, a reward that fills you and also recoups you, is one that will help you be disciplined with the goals that you're trying to achieve. Finish a chapter, you're getting a packet of chips. Go for a walk or a run, you're getting a nice snack. Or finish a 75-day challenge, you're getting a new pair of trainers. When I finished my 75 soft challenge, I got myself a new pair of tackies, and I absolutely loved that. That was my reward. I had something to look forward to at the end of my challenge. So in order for me to remain disciplined and in order for me to remain consistent, I had to remember that there's a reward at the end of it. Think of it even in our Christian walk. You need to remain disciplined in the things that God wants us to do, in fulfilling the Great Commission and so forth, in order for us to know that we have paradise waiting for us at the end of our lives. Think about it like that. And yes, I'm not saying do things for rewards or tithe for a blessing or whatever, but I'm just saying that there's always a reward that you can look forward to. So keep that at the back of your brain. That will fuel you and drive you and motivate you to continue being disciplined. The fifth and final tip or skill that I want to share with you guys today is tracking your progress. I spoke about it in a video that I think came out last week, if not the week before. But tracking your progress and focusing on the small accomplishments is extremely important. Not only does it help you focus on the long-term goal and see it in those, small little steps that you need to get there. I spoke about the staircase, if I remember correctly, that you need to get to the end of to the top of the staircase, and in order for me to do that, I need to celebrate the one win where I went through one stair, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and so forth, right? So with that in mind, focus on the small, or rather track those progresses. What I do, or what I used to rather do, especially at the beginning of my discipline journey, I had a habit tracker on my phone, which had everything that I needed to do. So 2 liters of water, reading a module of whatever short course I'm doing, finishing the 3 priority things on my to-do list, all the things, and I would take them off as I go. Exercise, I would take them off as I go. I can't remember what the name of the app is. It is a free app, and it would literally give you like prompts. If you haven't done something by a certain day, because you can even put the time, if you haven't done something by a certain time of the day, it prompts you that, hey, you haven't ticked this off, and so forth, right? So with that in mind, you're able to track your progress. Some people have, for example, with the 75-day challenge, there are so many trackers and stuff out there that you're able to tick, and you're tracking that progress day by day to say, yeah, I'm getting closer to the finish line. I'm getting closer to the finish line. Some people, for example, if we want to use a money example, they have a chart on their wall that they want to have saved this amount. And each and every single day, or each and every week or month, they put a certain amount into their savings account, and then they tick that off. Tracking those improvements and tracking that progress is extremely important, because it keeps you motivated for the long term. It keeps you motivated to continue doing what you're doing. If it's a weight loss thing, measure your waist or take a progress picture, and every day you can see your waist shrinking, or you can see your arms being built. For me right now, I'm currently focusing on building my upper body, because I think I've mastered my legs. Yes, I focus on them, but I've mastered my legs. And every day I take a picture of my arms, especially after arm day, when my arms are all pumped up and stuff, and I take that picture and I continue to track that progress, to be able to say, yeah, that dream body is coming. You know what I mean? So in order for you to see the bigger picture, or in order for you to think of the bigger picture as realistic, you need to be able to track the day-to-day things that you're doing in order for you to get to that big picture. So tracking your progress, tracking your improvements is extremely important, because it does get very discouraging if you're not even seeing that you're making progress. Sometimes, for example, especially with my weight loss journey, when I started with working out, I used to step on the scale each and every day, and it really discouraged me, because, for example, if I'm about to start that time of the month, I'm a bit more bloated, so I'm a bit more heavy, then I'd step on the scale and it says I'm 2 more kgs than I was yesterday, and I would feel very discouraged. So when the battery of my scale at home finished, I didn't get a new one, because that was really discouraging me, right? But when I actually took pictures of myself every day, or actually measured my waist, or measured my arms or my thighs, I was able to say, hey Rory, you're actually making progress. And don't just make that progress, but actually celebrate yourself. The one thing that I still struggle with, especially even now that I've mastered discipline, is celebrating those progressions and celebrating those wins. I finished my 75 soft challenge. Please ask me what I did. I did nothing. No dinner out, I did nothing, because I was already like, okay, what's next, So I really struggle to celebrate those small wins. And for someone else, I don't think it has this effect on me. Maybe I'm not self-aware in that regard yet, but for someone else who doesn't celebrate those small wins, it will discourage them, and they won't feel the need to take the next step. Whereas with me, let's move on to the next. Right now, I'm already planning for my next challenge. You know what I mean? So for me, it's something else. And I think it's because I've really just programmed my brain in a specific way. But if you are still in the process of programming your brain in a specific way, then be intentional about celebrating those small wins and about being intentional about tracking your progress, because if you don't, you're going to feel discouraged and you're going to fall by the wayside. So in closing, let's quickly summarize. The first skill is mastering your morning. The second skill is taming that to-do list terror. The third skill is making sure that you know how to say no and identifying and acknowledging the power of no. The fourth skill is rewarding yourself strategically. And the fifth skill is tracking your progress and celebrating your wins. Remember that discipline isn't a destination, it is a journey that continuously evolves based on your level of, personal development. There will be setbacks, there will be failures sometimes. I had whispers for breakfast today, for example, instead of a smoothie. There will be setbacks. Your journey of discipline is not going to be perfect, and acknowledging that truth from the beginning will help you be kind to yourself. So with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. Do comment down below what other things you do and what other skills you have implemented in order for you to be disciplined, and also comment what areas of your life you require a bit more discipline in. Do you need to eat a bit better? Do you need to exercise? Do you need to read? What areas are those where you want to be a bit more disciplined? And putting that down in the comment section is you saying, hey, I'm just putting it out there so that I can be accountable, and come back in a couple of months and say, yes guys, I've read 5 books, shout out to me. I really encourage you to do that, because the reason why I post so much on my Instagram, and for those who have me on WhatsApp, on my WhatsApp, to see that I went to gym or what I ate or whatever, is because I need to be, that's me being accountable to someone. Yes, you guys are not my accountability partners, but if I keep quiet for a week, somebody's going to DM me and say, girl, are you still gymming? You know what I mean? So being able to come back to this video in 5 months time and say, I wrote down here that I want to read 2 books before the end of the year. Guys, I read those books and I even exceeded the amount of books that I wanted to read, will make me extremely, extremely, extremely happy. So with that, with so much love and so much light from me to you, have an amazing rest of the day. Stay safe and God bless. Bye guys.